Hi, my name is Daria Valdez, and I'm your student's Spanish 1 teacher here at Legacy of Educational Excellence High School. Please look at our course syllabus and follow along with me. First of all, I'd like to welcome all of our parents, all of our guardians to our Greenback Night, which is our open house. And this short video will give you an introduction to Spanish 1, give you important information, and give you a little sample of what your student experiences on a daily basis in Spanish 1. The best way to contact me here at Lee High School is through my email, which is dvalde5@neisd.net, dvalde5@neisd.net. I also use Google Voice, and you're free to text me or send a voicemail or call. The cell number is 731-420-5080. You're free to leave a text message or a voicemail, and I'll contact you as soon as possible. What are the apps that your student uses in Spanish 1? All students have been helped and assisted with signing up for Google Classroom, Remind, Flipgrid, and Quizlet. These are apps that we use to practice Spanish or to send information. Google Classroom is where we store all of our classwork, our information, our PowerPoints, etc. for the class. The best way to reach me would be also to send a remind message. I love to send my students reminders about quizzes and upcoming tests, to send out information about things that are happening during the week in Spanish class. As you can see on the screen, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth period have their own individual remind code. Feel free to join, remind, and receive reminders just as your student would. Students also sign up for Flipgrid, which helps them to record their speaking activities and presentations in Spanish. The other app that we use is called Quizlet. Quizlet is a wonderful tool that helps students practice vocabulary, hear pronunciation, and practice games, all while making vocabulary learning fun. Your students' expectations during our Zoom meetings, which take place online, are as preparation, to find a quiet place, to be able to have a class meeting without distractions, and to be ready and on time. To keep their cameras on if at all possible, and to use headphones to minimize noise. Participation is important in Spanish class, and so I encourage my students to be actively participating and focused. We also take mini breaks, like a water break or a stretch break and a bathroom break, so that kids can have an opportunity to refresh themselves and come back and finish the rest of class. Another thing that I remind my students about is to remember to be polite and to practice good digital citizenship and etiquette in this new online environment that we are all experiencing for the first time in America. Use the online chat to ask questions is how I recommend students talk to me during the lesson so that we don't interrupt the flow of what's being presented. Another thing that I encourage my students to do is to enjoy Spanish. And it's a new and exciting way to learn. It's full of challenges this year, but I definitely want your student to have fun and enjoy spending time in the classroom with their classmates and me, their teacher. My tutoring and my class schedule and my grades are also included here in the course syllabus, which your student has access to through their Google Classroom. I teach Spanish 1 Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, first, second, third, and fourth period. We have 2B lunch with a short break for lunch for students. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I teach Spanish 1, 5th period, and 7th period, and my conference is 6. I'm available for tutoring on Thursday mornings from 9 a.m. to 9:30, and I'm also available for tutoring in office hours on Monday and Thursday afternoon from 3:30 to 4 p.m. We don't have tutoring on Wednesdays so that teachers, administrators, and staff can attend important staff meetings and committee meetings. I also don't tutor on Fridays just because it's Friday. So students are able to log into Google Classroom to find the Zoom code for tutoring. The way your student will be graded is through categories and weight. We're going to be using tests and projects, quizzes, communication, which would include listening activities, reading activities, writing activities in Spanish, and their daily and their homework. Tests and projects are 40%, quizzes 20%, communication is also 20%, and daily work and homework is 20%. What will be expected of your student in Spanish 1? Well, hopefully by the end of the first year of study, your student will be able to understand Spanish at the novice high level, which means they should be able to talk and write about themselves in simple sentences. And they should be able to ask and answer questions about places they frequent in town, to talk about places they'd like to travel, and to be able to meet their basic needs. In semester 1, we'll be covering the units, how do I make new friends and how do I spend my time? In the spring, we'll be covering how do I interact with my community and what inspires people to travel. Students are encouraged to turn in all of their work through Google Classroom or directly to their apps. For example, in Quizlet, their work will be saved in their Quizlet account. Or in Descubre, their online textbook, their work will be saved in that account. All they have to do is head back to Google Classroom and mark the assignment turned in. They can also take a photo of an assignment or any work for class if they're having technical issues, and they're free to email me the photo so that I can make sure their grades are updated correctly. This year, since we are working from home and online, myself being here at school, students will have 2 days to make up any work that they miss. And if you know your student will be absent, feel free to email me and have them log in and check in, and we can mark them present asynchronously. What is the retake policy? If your student makes less than a 70% on a quiz or a test, they will have the opportunity to make that up. And that needs to be done by contacting me, and so that I can open up that assignment online for them. I definitely want to welcome your student and welcome you as the parent and guardian. And I want to encourage my students to always go for it. And I encouraged them at the beginning of the year to not be afraid to make mistakes. And I also let them know that it's okay to make mistakes, to mispronounce words, to misspell. But one thing that I always encourage them to do is to keep trying and not to give up. And as long as they keep trying and not give up, I can guarantee they will learn a lot more Spanish than if they didn't. So I want to welcome you once again and thank you for your time this afternoon. I want to show you very quickly what a sample lesson would look like. Every day when students come to class, I play a peppy song to start our day. So every day they'll hear a peppy song to let them know class is beginning. We'll talk about what week we're on, and we'll learn about the date. And we will also, if they're a morning class, do our pledge and our moment of silence with a thought of the day. We always check in to see how students are doing. And we also talk about what day of the week we're in and what date it is. Then we go over our agenda, and we have tons of time to practice during class. There will be homework, and sometimes students will need extra time outside of class to finish that, but it's always available, and I'm always available for help through email or tutoring. Thank you so much for visiting my website here at NEISD and at Lee High School, and I hope you and your student have a fantastic 2020-2021 school year. This is Daria Valdez. Thank you so much for your time.